How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Harvest Valley. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, I present to you a fictional map of Harvest Valley. The map has one multifunctional farm, 20 fields, one meadow, DLC precision farming, buying animals, several different sales stations, train, vehicle traffic, pedestrian traffic, machine shop, gas station, forest areas, toys to find 20, biogas plant, crude oil, forest machines for starters. You will find more yourself. I wish you a long game. There are no mods required for this map, and this map was created by Bartson v3 and is 110.47 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. You can see here that you start out right here in the middle of the map at your starting farm. You start out by owning farmlands number 10, 13, 14, and 20, 10 being a barley field, 13 being another barley field. Both of them are ready to harvest. 14 is your main farm area, and 20 is a pretty decent sized forestry area. Let's see, you're not able to purchase all areas of the map. Mainly you have areas like here where it's basically sell points and stuff you're not able to purchase. You can have a varying range of prices for your fields. Starting here, we got a $298,000 forestry plot, another $227,000 forestry plot. Some of the fields get pretty expensive: $786,000, $510,000, $917,000, $1.3. I mean, it's gonna be kind of a slog because there's really no good cheap solutions. You've got 383,000. It's going to cost you. It's going to cost you, but you do get that kind of varying degree of costly. it's going to take a while, and it's going to not be cheap. Let's see. We do start out with animal pens. As you can see, we have several available to us. Contracts are available on this map. No production chain to start out with, and there are collectibles. Now, the description said 20. This screen says 100. I'm going to go with what this screen says rather than what the description says. Just seems like this one would likely be the more accurate one. Let's see. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, looking at the buy menu, there's nothing under the buy menu. But if we do look down here, you will see mods and DLCs. Oh, I apologize. I think I said there were no mods required for this map. There are mods required for this map. It's the crude oil production that is important and will come in later. So yeah, take that back. Then, if we keep looking at mods specific to this map, under the buy menu, so nothing under the build menu, nothing under the buy menu, but under the build menu, also nothing, absolutely nothing, nothing under buildings, productions, animals, decorations, or landscaping. Now, we start here at the starting farm, so let's take a look at our starting equipment. We have a fairly good starting set of equipment, starting with small tractors, the Massey Ferguson 6S135, medium tractors, the Massey Ferguson 8S205 and the 7S155. Got a John Deere 7R270. Under harvesters, we have a New Holland CH770. Forestry machines, we have the Rotna H21D and the F20D. Under telehandlers, we have the New Holland TH742 Elite. Cars, we have the Lizard Pickup 2017 and the Mahindra Retriever. Trailers, we have the Crampy Big Body 750S, the Brantner Z18051 2XXL Powerflex. We actually have two of those. Under auger wagons, we have a Bergman GTW330. Header for the New Holland. Stone picker, we have the Elho Scorpio 550. Plows, the Lemken Titan 18. Cultivators, we have the Lemken Carrot 12500 KUA and the Lemken Schmarg 9500K. Disc Harrow, we have the the Agromaz BTZ50H. Power Harrows, we have the K-Brand HR4040. Seeders, we have the K-Brand HR6040 RCS plus BTFR6030. The Venta 4030 and the TF1512, that's the front seed /fertilizer tank. Under planters, we have the Amazon Persea 4500 2C Super. Under rollers, we have the Dabble Power Roll 1230 HD. Fertilizer spreaders, the Amazon ZATS 3200. Balers, the Massey Ferguson RB 4160V ProTech. Bale loaders, the Anderson RBM 2000. Telehandler tools, the Magsy Universal Bucket. And a header trailer, the Nardi N40BX. And that is all of our starting equipment. Now let's check out the starting farm. Directly behind me, we have a sleep trigger right there. Off in this direction, in here, we have a repair trigger. A lot of our starting equipment is all tucked away in here. We have a silo right here. Nothing inside the silo itself. Over here, we have a pig barn, room for 270 pigs. Tucked around behind it. Should show. Pig feed goes in here, and the slurry comes out the backside right over here. Over here, we have the sheep barn. We have room for, horse barn. 14 horses we have room for. Feed goes in here. Next to that is the sheep barn. And 65 sheep can fit in here. Feed goes here, and your wool produces here. We have a chicken barn here. Eggs produce here. Feed goes back here, and room for 360 chickens. Around over here, we have our cow barn. And this one is the one with the feeding robot. Room for 80 cows in here. We have our milk trigger here. Straw can go in here. Feed can go in here. You can also mix it with the mixing robot for hay, straw, silage, and mineral feed right there. Slurry out the back right there. Now over here, we have a liquid fertilizer tank, solid fertilizer tank, and a fuel tank. Bunker silos right here. And here we have a bale and pallet storage. And that is everything for the starting farm. Let's go ahead and head out and show the rest of the map. Now I will say this is a relatively flat map, not a lot in the way of undulations or anything like that. There are some in certain areas. The forestry area kind of to our south there, that does have quite a bit of undulation. Nice little bridge coming in and out of the starting farm. Nope, we want to go this way. Head down south a ways. Head off to the left. Over the bridge. And here we have kind of this built up industrial park right here. So starting back here, we have the small refinery. Can purchase this for $70,000, and we will purchase this because this is something that we don't see all the time. This is a mod required for this map, and we can have crude oil, and in exchange for the crude oil, we will produce paraffin, kerosene, motor oil, bearing grease, and diesel. Now, to get crude oil, you have to go under productions here, scroll to the right, and under here we have a well pump. You bring in empty barrels and you get out crude oil. You also have different ways to do this. You got the big oil pump here. You also have small refinery, which is what we're looking at here, a medium refinery, and a large refinery. These are all parts of this specific mod set that is required for this map. Behind me is the bakery. You can purchase this for $50,000. Oh, and I forgot to show inputs right here for the refinery, outputs right here for the bakery. $50,000, like I said, inputs, outputs here, inputs along the side. Over here we have the sugar mill. Oops, there we go. $80,000 for this one. Output here and input here. On this side we have the oil mill, $80,000 for the oil mill, and you have your inputs and outputs. And lastly, we have the grain mill, $96,000 for this one. Inputs here, outputs there. And that is the industrial park here on the southeast portion of the map. Go ahead and go back over the bridge. Now we're not supposed to cut through here, but we've got to get to this little side road. So that's going to be the most direct route. So we're basically backtracking, taking this main road that we came out on. Instead of going over the bridge this time, we're going to go under it. Come back around, back under the bridge. And tucked away in here is the Johnson's Farmers Market. This is a sell point. Turn back around over here. Let's see, head back out the way we came. And now we'll come back out here, go down this side road, follow this up and around to here, the sawmill. You can purchase the sawmill for $100,000. You've got your input here with the wood cell trigger there. You've got your wood chips output there, and your output for the productions are right there. Now we'll head out of here. And we'll head to our next point of interest. And this is the biogas. Now, I will say there was a bit of confusion on my part when I first got here. So if I take a look at the map and show where we've been, what we've seen up to this point. So we started here at the main farm. We came out to this main section of the road, came all the way down out to this area here where we saw the small refinery, the bakery, the sugar mill, the oil mill, and the grain mill. And then came back out here. We jumped onto the dirt road, up and around, back around down to this area here, which is Johnson's Farmers Market. We then came back out to the road here, came back out to the main road. Again, weren't really using the actual lanes. Came up, we saw the sawmill right here. We then came out to this area for the biogas plant. And you can see there's a marker here for the biogas plant. Normally this marker denotes that there's a sell point. As best as I can tell, there isn't just a straight up sell point. And I think what it's actually supposed to be is just a notation that the biogas plant is here. But if you want to activate the biogas plant, you have to purchase the farmland number 12 for $316,404. Let me go ahead and purchase that just real quick. I'm going to borrow some money. That's enough. And now you see that this pops up right here. Biogas plant 500 kilowatt. And all this is now showing. So if we come over here, we now have access to the trigger for the production point. And it looks like just standard, inputs and outputs. Nothing too special there. We have the output for our digestate right here. Input for our liquids here, and input for our solids here. A couple of bunker silos that we also now have access to because we own the farmland. And that is it. Let's hop back in here. And go ahead and head out. Follow this road to the north. all the way up here. We're basically going to be at the northern portion of the playable area right up here. And then follow this out to here, and you will see this. Now over here, we have the rent train trigger right there. Rent it for $1,000 per hour. We have the input and output for our train portion of this silo, and input and output for the land-based portion. So you got the track-based portion and you got the land-based portion right there. So now we'll go ahead and turn back around and head back south, backtracking a little ways. Now following this around, over to here, we come in this driveway. Down here, in that little bay right there, is the GCHB grain elevator sell point. Now head back, backtracking just a little ways. Around this corner, pull into here. And here to my left, that is the animal dealer sell point. And just behind it is the animal dealer itself. So we can use this icon or any of the icons similar to this on our already established pens or pastures or any that we install on the map. We can use this to purchase our animals. You can see at the upper left-hand corner, there's the open animal dialogue trigger. This, if you use this directly, will incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to the animal dealer taking the animals from this location and delivering them to your pens and pastures wherever you put them, and it can get expensive. An adult cow can typically run about $100 per cow, and as you can see, we have a cow barn available, and you can see baby cows $50, medium-sized cows $80, adults $100. So depending on how many cows you're getting, if you stack up fully, you got 80 cows. That's a lot of money just in the delivery of cows. And we've got other pens and pastures that we can put them into. So to save that money, bring an animal trailer to this location, hit this trigger with an animal trailer inside the box here, and then you can load the animals directly into the animal trailer. You can deliver them yourself and save that money. So very good way to save money. Over here we have the average purchase of product sales sale point. And that is it for this section. Let's go ahead and turn around and make a left. And we'll be coming up on our last points of interest. Turn here. And in here, last points of interest. So, right here you can see that there's a dialog box, or at least a marker here for a dialog box, but I don't see a dialog box itself. This is supposed to be a lime station right here. I presume that if we bring a trailer here, we can load up with lime, and I might actually show that after we get through the rest of this, just to see if that trigger does indeed work. Over here we have a repair trigger, gas station right in here. Over here we have a small sales stall, and this is a sell point. And then lastly, the shop trigger right here. And that is it. That is everything for Harvest Valley. Now it is time to render my opinion and tell you what I think. But let's go ahead and we'll purchase 2 bits of equipment just so we can actually see if that trigger does indeed work. So let's just get a small tractor. We'll use a little Porsche here and a small trailer. That should work. Looks like we're going to have plenty of room to be able to get our equipment here. We're not going to have to fight and contend with space, like unlike some maps. Alright, then right over here. Little itty baby Porsche. Oh, yep, start filling. Check it out. So it does indeed work. Awesome. And 1,600 liters for 359 bucks. Not a bad price. Awesome. So now it's time to render my opinion, tell you what I think. 0 to 5 scale as per usual. Well, I'm not too crazy about this map. And here's why. The color palette, I'm not huge on. There's huge chunks of colors from the wildflowers around the map that just kind of sucks me out of the map. On top of that, there are a lot of areas where the field grass just kind of encroaches on the road, onto the concrete. There's parts where the plants and the vegetation just encroach, like you see right there. Perfect example of the vegetation just kind of creeping into the map. The layout is actually rather interesting. I'm not opposed necessarily to the layout or anything. We've got kind of these nice little rocky outcrove areas for the bridges that goes from place to place here on the southern portion of the map, which makes it look rather interesting. We've got this kind of unique road network here as well, where it's only accessible in very specific points throughout the map. Here's another part there and up here where the grass kind of just encroaches onto the roadway, and it just, I don't know, feels sloppy, for lack of a better word. Oop, easy. So yeah, it's one of those where I'm not too terribly impressed. The map itself is mostly flat. It's going to be extremely worker friendly, or at least it should be. And saying that, this would be one of those maps where it would be very good for somebody who's very new and fresh to Farming Simulator, and you're wanting to kind of teach and learn and like off of this style of map. This would be a very good for, you know, somebody just starting out. But for somebody like myself, it's, I don't know, feel like it's lacking something. And it's one of those where it's almost too basic for somebody like myself, who looks for a challenge, who looks for the terrain, the topography. There are certain places around the map where that terrain and topography does exist. I mean, you see right here where you get a little bit of elevation change, and then you get this kind of outer perimeter of the map, this little forestry area to my left. But is this a buyable area, though? I'm not certain. Let me double check the map. We're over here now. Oh, yeah, look. Oh, no. This whole eastern portion of the map and southern portion down here isn't purchasable. So that, yeah, that kind of leaves you longing, almost. You do get that little northern part right there behind me, but all of this is going to remain how it looks right now. So that's kind of a bummer. You get this little bit of elevation here, but again, you get all these wildflowers off to my right here that just, it makes it feel very cartoonish, and not necessarily like a real location. I know it's supposed to be built off of fiction and all that, but it just doesn't even begin to kind of scratch that kind of realistic itch kind of thing, which for some people that's totally fine. For me personally, that's part of what I look for in my maps. So all in all, my personal score, what do I grade this map? I'd probably give this a 2. probably in that ballpark. One of those where I'm just not necessarily impressed with the map itself. I'm happy about it. There are some issues I've found going around the map as well. You can see if you look at the water grass here, how it's actually kind of elevated off the water here. You also get some of that in a pond out on your property over here. There's some water grass here on this pond here, and it's just kind of elevated off the ground. There's just certain little things that I've found that are just kind of stand out. And this little industrial area, again, it just feels lacking. Like everything is just kind of plunk, 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 just all here, but without any kind of decorative touch or feeling. It just feels cold and open here. I mean, with the buildings, yes, but I don't know. Just something about it just doesn't... could feel like there could be more. And unfortunately, I don't think you can buy this area. Yeah, you can't. So there's nothing you can do about this. You can't improve the area. You can't build it up and make it, feel kind of busier or more exciting to visually appeal to the eye. So it's one of those that at the end of the day, I feel like it's just not going to be a map for me. So that's why I would give this map a solid 2. But all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithms enjoy you doing that, shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.